You get the idea. Okay, so this is my second video on my improvisation series. And I said if you haven't watched the first video, you should. I mean, they don't have to go in order, but they're all useful things that I found I really, really needed to learn how to improvise. And it's such a broad topic that I've decided to break it down into lots of different bits and talk about it in sections. And this is a section about ear training. So basically, when I'm improvising, I'll have an idea in my head, and then hopefully it comes out through my hands. And that took me a while to get. That didn't just happen overnight. It's not like I was born with that. I learned it. They call it perfect pitch when you can hear a pitch and you know what note it is. It's relative pitch when you can start with note and then form a tune. You can hear the distances between the pitches, basically, and that's what I'm going to help you out with today. So, in case you didn't already know that tune, that was Somewhere Over the Rainbow, Judy Garland, she's my hero. And I was just basically putting it through all the different keys, and I was partly using my ear and partly using theory to do that. So, what we're going to talk about today is the different notes of the scale and how to hear the distance between them. And if you get really good at that, that's going to be your first step towards getting that really great relative pitch. That means that when you hear an idea in your head, you can then put it on your saxophone. So here we go. If we start on a G, let's start to listen to the difference between a G and an A. Okay, so yes, it starts at the beginning of the scale. But even better, what if we associate it with the tune Happy Birthday? Yeah? So remember that. Between notes 1 and 2, so an interval of a second, that's called, sounds a bit like Happy Birthday. Let's do one for a third. We're doing all majors today. If you're interested in knowing more, I can do the minors another video. So if we go third, that's if we're starting on a G, that's G, A, B. Now to me, sounds a little bit like I wanna be in that number when the saints go marching in. So remember that, maybe write this down. Fourth, G, A, B, C. Sounds a bit like Here Comes the Bride. There's actually loads for a fourth. You could try different ones. We Wish You a Merry Christmas as a fourth. That's ones that lots of my students like to use, but I have a problem with, I don't know, this is just me. I have a problem with Christmas tunes outside of December. It offends me. The Harry Potter theme tune starts with a fourth. Oh, that would be a great one to teach. Does anyone want the Harry Potter theme tune? If you like the Harry Potter theme tune, you want to be able to play it on the sax, give me a thumbs up and let me know in the description box. I always say the description box, the comments box. Let me know in the comments box. You can't edit the description box, that's my job. Whatever. Moving on. D. That's a fifth. G, A, B, C, D. And that sounds like Star Wars. So that is coming your way as of next week. So keep an eye on that one. I will put the link to that in the description box as soon as I've done it. So that was Star Wars for a fifth. Okay, a sixth. So that's going up to the E, from G to E. All these are all relative. This is only because I started on a G. So let's say I started on a C, then the sixth would be C, D, E, F, G, A. So it depends where you started. We're talking about intervals, the space between two notes. So the E. Sounds a bit like My Bonnie Lies Over the Ocean. That's a beautiful tune, little folk tune. If you don't know it, look it up. That's a really good one for a sixth. Seventh is just a bit weird. I mean, you could think of it as just the weird one, like the odd one out. But it also sounds a little bit like the beginning of Maria. I just met a girl named Maria, which is from West Side Story, if you don't already know. It's a beautiful song. started. So Somewhere Over the Rainbow, that's an octave. 8 notes. So you're now thinking, okay, so what do I do with this? Well, first of all, what I would recommend is if you're an advanced player, take one of those tunes and try translating it into all keys. And if you're feeling very enthusiastic, do that to all of those tunes. You really start to hear those pitches. If you're a beginner, let's do this little test. This will be fun. So I'm trying not to look at my hand. In fact, do you know what? I'm going to face over. Have a little listen and see if you can work out which 2 notes I'm playing. So here we go. So here's your first note. And here's your next one. Can you work out what interval that is? I'll put the answers in the description box. And I'll do 4 more. Here's the next one. What interval is that? Try not to look at my hands if you can still see them. Okay, 2 more. 2 more examples. Here we go. What do you think that might be? Last one. Okay, so answers are in the description box if you want to have a peek. If you got those completely wrong, you're like, this test sucks. Let me just give you some tips for improvement. First of all, try and narrow it down a little bit. So does it sound like a big jump or a small jump? That's your first thing. So narrow it down to big, middle, or small. So is it gone a long way or is a small distance? And then really hum the tune that you're associated with. Does it sound the same? Keep rewinding it back. You know, you can listen to the interval a few times, so keep flicking it back and thinking, oh, I haven't quite got it, do it again. There's also an app that's really good for this. It's called Ear Trainer, and the image, I'll put a link in the description box if I can find it, but the image is of an ear. It's actually quite gross. But that does these loads of these intervals, so you can do example after example after example. And for advanced players, that app is really great because it then turns them into chords. So then you can really hear how a chord is built, if it's built on major thirds or minor thirds or whatever. So you can start to recognise chords based on the intervals that you started at there. So yes, if you would like another video on minor intervals to be able to hear those, then yeah, let me know in the comments box and I will do that for you. Meanwhile, I hope you have a very nice week and I will hopefully see you next week, time abiding, where I will be doing Star Wars for you. What a tune. So yes, in the meantime, if you haven't already subscribed, please do. Please subscribe and give me a thumbs up if you liked this video and you managed to get something out of it. And yes, follow me on Twitter, all of that thing. It's Twitter, Instagram, and all of those things. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.